Hello and welcome my friend, and then I am planning to show you that how to replace this Ford Duratec engine's alternator. And this part is alternator, and this replace happens so that firstly we have to take that drive belt away, and then we can look these bolts in here. And let's take this drive belt first away. Okay, and when we start to take out this drive belt, there is only one important trick, that we have to go in this tensioner area, because this tensioner opens and loosens this drive belt. And for that opening we need now 15mm this wrench what fits in here, and now my purpose is to press this my tool in down, and now this tensioner goes up. This is so easy, and let's go to look closer. And this is really so easy that when we have good quality 15mm socket or then wrench, I compress that down, and then this belt it becomes loosened, and I can take that belt in away in that way. Excellent. Okay, and there is really exhaust manifold, and now when we have take the drive belt away, we can look these bolts, and there is one bolt in here and one in here and one in here, and let's take my socket and I open these bolts. Okay, and now I need 13mm socket, and then a little bit longer bar, and firstly I open these 3 bolts. This is like upper one, and we need to little bit maybe bend this metallic plate in here, and this is like first belt, and then we have in here down area we have 2 of those bolts. We can see that I open these lower bolts in here, and this is like final one. Good. And now when these 3 bolts are free, now this my alternator is movable, and then there is 2 sockets what I have to remove. And firstly there is this interesting air hose what we can move in little bit in down, and then in this electric cable, this is big electric cable, I need 10mm this socket, and now I open that 10mm bolt, and then I can release this big electric cable, and there is really 10mm nut in here, and then there is second connector in here, and that's this part. This can be difficult to open, and for that connector I need next pliers. Really this electric connector, and I have to remove that cable connector, and I need pliers next. If we use this long head pliers, I install that my tool in just in here, and when I compress that in here, I can take this connector away. An idea is to compress this side, that part in here, this area. Compression in that way, and this is difficult to open without these pliers in that way. Good. And now this connector is also free, and then we have final part to open these nuts, and now I use my driver, and there's my 13mm socket, and first bolt in here, but I open firstly this down, and there are big bolts, first one, and then there is the second, and this is difficult position. I use little bit longer bar that I can. Now this lower bolt opens. This lower bolt is really in here difficult position, and there is also similar size bolt. Yes, they are similar, good. And then final one is this upper one. Then there is this upper one, final bolt in here. And when I take that away, then alternator is free. Good. And there is final bolt. And now alternator is almost free. There's one electric connector, but I have to open in here, in that one. And now this my alternator is free, and we can go to look that little bit closer more. And here is really this alternator, and there is really this interesting this hose. This is like this alternator's intake hose, what takes this air inside in this alternator. And there is 4 of these bolts that I can take this nozzle away, and this is a little bit oily, and in that area we can, when we clean this label, we can see this manufacturing code, but we need to purchase this new one. And what we can see in here, there is something. Let's go to look a little bit closer these numbers. Okay, and now we can look in their inner area, and there is this code and this first line, and then this maker. It is new to me, that brand. It is some Theon, Wiz Theon, something like that. And then when we rotate that another side, can we see in here anything? In that side there is no any labels, but this is like this information that what type of alternator we should purchase. And this alternator really look that, and there are those mounting bolts, and then this side looks like that. Okay, that kind of information to you. Thank you for watching.